I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about I'm scared to start over.
This is a common fear after a breakup. Before we get into it, I did want to say that Craig and I are available for coaching sessions. So if you're interested in talking about your situation with us, head to the website, book from there.
We're happy to help you out. It is scary for many people to start over after a breakup. So many people are afraid they're not going to find somebody else. I talk to a lot of older people that are really afraid of not finding somebody else. I guess they feel like they have less time and they worry about that. But there are plenty of single people of all ages out there. And you want to have an abundance mindset. It will really help you go through a breakup. If you have this fearful mindset that there's not a lot of people out there, it's going to make you more scared, right? We know that when you're in a relationship, you invest a lot of time into that person. You talk about a future or goals, or you share your life with somebody, and you invest so much of yourself that it's really hard to let go or start over. And many of you are probably just overwhelmed with, where do I start? What do I do? How can I start over again?
So we're going to talk about this fear of starting over after a breakup. And it's hard to be vulnerable. Really, when you think about starting over, you think about how vulnerable you've been with your partner for maybe how many months, maybe how many years, maybe how many decades in some cases.
Yeah.
And so it can be hard to get to that level of depth with somebody new. And so it's hard to be vulnerable with someone new. It takes energy to be vulnerable, to be able to open up to somebody that you don't know, maybe don't trust quite yet. And you might also be afraid of other people not being fully emotionally available. You might think, what if this person doesn't take good care of my feelings when I show them? What if this person doesn't really take my vulnerability and handle it with care? So it can be something that's really scary because many of us have been hurt in past relationships. And so, we are burned and we don't want to get burned again. We don't want to be hurt again by somebody new. And coming out of a breakup, there's probably still some residual hurt. You're that close to that kind of a painful experience that you probably don't want to experience it again anytime soon.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've always said is that any time you fall in love, you are risking heartbreak. And that is so true. And that's why we're always trying to be proactive in teaching you and educating you about attachment style, because that is going to really help you choose somebody that is going to be able to give you your needs and commit to a relationship. Attachment styles really just kind of gives you a glimpse into mental health. And the healthier somebody is, the more likely they're going to be able to meet those needs and stand all of those struggles that come from a relationship, all the energy that it takes. And, navigating all the complexities of somebody else's needs, their own needs, the ability to communicate, to handle all those life stressors. And so it's a very valid fear to have that, there's a good chance that if you find somebody else, you're going to get your heart broken, right? Just like you did with this person that you're with now. So it's a really valid fear. But when you focus your energy on getting to a secure place, you get more okay with being alone. Now, we don't say you have to want to be alone,
right,
but just being okay with it really puts you in a better place to have a relationship where you're not trying to overcompensate or pressure people to meet those needs.
Right, and you get to a place where you're more intentional with how you invest your time and who you choose. You become a lot more selective with who becomes your new potential partner. So this is something that's important. Another piece that can come up in being scared to start over is being tired of the monotony of dating.
Oh, yeah.
Now
I saw something the other day where somebody was like, I hate having to ask those questions like, what's your favorite color?
What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? So this can sound like an old, tired track, and you might be completely over it. When I think about this, I think about that quote that says, intimacy is earned. So we might be coming out of a really intense, deep, passionate kind of relationship that ended in this intense breakup. And so starting from scratch to where you're asking some of these kind of small talk questions can seem like such a downgrade.
Yeah.
It seems like you're now putting in the work to build this relationship again, but it does take time, and it's something that's earned. It was earned in your relationship, and it will be earned in the next relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to give you a couple tidbits of advice on if you are feeling this fear, if you're scared to dip your toe into the dating pool. Of course, there's never any pressure, and we have tons of videos on dating again after a breakup.
Yep.
A big word that comes up for me here is resilience. When we go through really difficult experiences, it's really our resilience, which is connected to our level of mental health and our level of functioning.
Absolutely.
To be able to say, hey, I'm willing to try this again because I'm hopeful. And it can be hard to get to that point, but that is a point in healing from a breakup, is saying, I'm opening myself up to love again.
Yep.
I also want to say that just like the human body has an incredible power to heal and regenerate, so do we emotionally. You have to think about our emotions sometimes almost like a physical wound. They do heal. They do end up, scarring over. Maybe the skin looks a little bit different where you had the wound, but it's still functional. And so emotionally, the same thing can happen too. We regenerate, we recuperate, and we're able to try again, maybe with a lot of differences, maybe with a lot more scarring, maybe a tougher skin there, but still able to function.
And hopefully when you consider dating again, you are keeping in mind the things that you're learning from us on the channel, like somebody's mental health, and getting to know them slowly, trying to figure out who they are and how they're going to show up in a relationship. You got to be very careful in the beginning. We say a solid year. You'll see a lot of people with personality disorders coming on very strong, especially in those first 5 months or so. So you got to take your time and think, okay, this person, I don't know them well yet, because they will make you feel great and amazing in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they'll abandon you and you'll be devastated.
Yeah.
Right? So go into it knowing that everybody attaches differently, and you want to find out how they attach and what their relationships were like. I'm nosy, okay? I'm not investing my heart into somebody unless I really see who they are and how they've shown up in their other relationships. And I'm not necessarily going to take their word for everything they say, because I know that there's two sides to that story, and then there's the truth, right?
Craig's an investigator.
That's right, because I'm going to protect myself, and you guys should protect yourself. And that's why we're telling you, educate yourself.
Exactly. And remember that there's not any pressure here. Being afraid to start over, we're talking about vulnerability, we're talking about deepening connections. There's no pressure. Likely the next person you meet might not be the person of your dreams, might not be, your lifetime partner. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But removing the pressure from it and just thinking about it as you meeting a whole different person with their unique interests, with their unique quirks, mannerisms, habits, ways of talking, smells. I'm really about smells. So have that kind of a curiosity whenever you're ready. And this is another big piece that we talk about in some of our other videos on dating after a breakup, but being clear about your intentions and where you're at.
Yes.
Many of you are in that cusp where you're healing from a breakup. Maybe it's been around a year after a breakup, maybe sooner. And you're thinking, man, I want to get out there. I want to start dating, but I'm not sure how I'll feel. I'm not sure if I'll compare that person to my ex or obsess, and I don't want to do someone a disservice. That's something that you can be honest about. You can say, hey, this is just my situation. I'm here to meet new people and see where things go.
Yep.
So be open-minded, be communicative, take things slowly, and be wise. Take from your experiences and say, what kind of a relationship do I want now?
Yeah, you don't want people to blindly get into a relationship or think that you're ready when you're not. So you really want to be careful and empathetic towards other people. Think about how hurt you are when somebody broke up with you. You don't want to do that to somebody else.
Right.
Okay, so you really want to make sure that you take it slow and you don't lead people on, because people can get pretty selfish when they're anxious and they're afraid to be alone. But think about how it hurts when somebody isn't there for you or abandons you. You don't want to continue that cycle.
Yeah, exactly. And remember that you can also set the tone for these dates. I know starting over, especially if you've had a relationship of many years, it can seem like dating for the first time. It can seem like, uncharted territory. You can set the tone. So if a conversation goes to a place where you feel uncomfortable, reroute. If you want it to be more fun, then make it more fun. Be playful. Be able to make jokes. So remember that you're not just a victim to whoever you're dating or a hostage to however they decide the date goes. You also have, agency here in how your dating life goes. You can choose how often you decide to go on dates. Some of you.
And I would recommend you see somebody once a week, no more than twice a week. We can get so excited in the beginning that you're seeing each other 4 or 5 times a week, and 3 weeks later they've moved in.
Yeah.
Those situations don't tend to last, right? They burn out. It's too much. It's too soon. It overwhelms people. It scares people. Doesn't in the beginning, but it will given about 5 or 6 months. So you really want to take your time. Once, maybe twice a week is the most I think you really want to see somebody, until you really start to know who they are.
Right. And heartbreak can be devastating. Heartbreak can really hurt. But there's that cheesy quote that I really love, that it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. So we want to hear your thoughts. Write down in the comments what you think, and we'd love to hear from you.
But it's understandable for those of you that are scared to date again, right? It is scary.
Especially if you've just been through it.
Yep. Yeah. So just take your time and do what's best for you, and make sure that when you allow yourself to get close to somebody new, if you decide to go that route, that they are going to be caring and empathetic and exhibit a lot of traits that a healthy partner will do.
Right. And you don't have to go 100% all in as soon as you meet somebody for the first date.
Please, I'm begging you, don't.
This could be a little bit at a time. See how they reciprocate. See if you want to invest more. Not every heartbreak is going to be the most devastating thing in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't show them the Star Wars collection until at least the 3rd date. Okay? They may be impressed by your lightsaber, but make them earn it. Okay?
When do you show them the Chewbacca?
Eventually. They have to earn Chewbacca.
God.
All right. So hopefully this one's been helpful to you. I waited to the end to make bad jokes.
Horrible.
If you want to get our help personally, you can do that on our website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Coach Victoria is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm here whenever I can be helpful.
But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.